we have to be, so Joan Vereen has a great kind of analogy with this, and I'll keep it very simple. If you play golf, you have a number of clubs, irons, and drivers in your bag, and you have to be willing and committed to using all of them to be good playing golf. You can't just like stick to 2 clubs. But what Joan Vereen says, when he's in a pinch and he really needs something, he goes to the 8-iron every time. So we have our niche. We know that, hey, I'm really good at the telephone, but I'm not so good at another method of prospecting. But we have to be open and committed to the other ways to recruit, because we just can't sit on our laurels. And by the way, I don't like the telephone. I always hated it. And so I'd rather just get out and talk to people. But that's just me. But you have to get into the virtual market and social media, because I'm not saying that's a 100% solution, but that's one of the many ways to do that.
Now, some of the issues that you had in doing that, I go back to saying, it has industry gotten with you to assist you in this, to help? To like any other, like Microsoft or Google, have any emerging big tech companies that have assisted you in this?
No, they haven't engaged with us specifically, but we do use a lot of those platforms that you just discussed.
Right.
Microsoft, Google Meets, Google Classroom, Zoom, and all these other things that we do to engage people. And there's so many of them. I mean, I never heard of Zoom prior to like March here. I never heard of MS Teams. I didn't know what that is.
Yeah, same here. I didn't hit till last year as well.
Yeah, right.
As soon as it popped up, then it was like, it was like, what's Zoom? And then I'm hearing, what's up. So, and anyways, another question came in about curtailment. I guess there's a status. What's the status on curtailment orders for those that volunteer to go back to the line? I guess there was a timeline back in October, November 2020 showing us PCSing in June, August of this year, as well as Ask EM Marketplace being open for us on 24 January. But a lot of us have not received orders yet or any indication that HRC is processing these requests.
Okay, so that's a really good question. And so just like any in a unit in the Army, we have sometimes like communication problems, right? And so
right.
But anybody so I'll just say straight up, anybody that had a specific issue with this, please send me a message, DM me on Instagram, or send me an email.
Okay.
And we'll address the issue. But just to wave tops on this, this wasn't a volunteer program. And so I know this individual said it was a volunteer, and maybe that was how it was relayed to him. So I'm not going to say that's what that didn't happen.
Right.
But it wasn't the guidance that was put out. The guidance was kind of a couple things. It was look within your commands to find non-commissioned officers, primarily staff sergeants, in critical skill sets that we need to return to the force, because we need to get squad leaders back into the formations and operational units. And so we did address that. And then the second thing was to look across the formation and make sure we had our leaders that are the most focused and committed leaders in our command, and talented recruiters to achieve the mission. But by no means was it, hey, anybody wants to go back, just let me know and we'll send you back. That's not the way it was supposed to be messaged. And if it was, I apologize for that. And the movement windows, they're right. It was supposed to have been June, August, but I think that was moved from August to October, the first wave. And there's a second wave of individuals that we're looking at the first part of next year, between January and March. And so those that got validated to go back to the operational force a little earlier than programmed will start receiving those assignment instructions for those movement dates.
Okay, that's okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole thing. So you guys heard it. That right now, that send if there's an issue with that, send the CSM a DM on Instagram and all. Now, speaking of which, you have a You said you were new to the social media stuff. What accounts are you on?
So I'm on official account. I'm on Instagram, and and that grows every day, and I'm on it all the time. I probably manage about 95% of that content, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
So I share stories, and people tag me all the time, and I'll post pictures of our NCOs and our leaders doing great things, and just highlight some of the key things that we need to, like diversity and
Of course.
across the force. But yeah, so I've learned I am learning Instagram. The first time I was introduced to it was a very good public affairs civilian that we had here, and she was she still is. She's a Gen Z, but and she like walked me through Instagram in about an hour, and my head was spinning. And so I had to kind of learn it, and I'm still not a T at it, but I'm getting better every day. But that's what platforms people are on. Many of our recruiting NCOs are on that as well as some of the people that have interest in maybe military service.
What's your take on esports? Has the team impacted recruiting into the U.S. Army? Has esports been I mean, it just started kicking off just a couple years now. Are you seeing an impact? Are you? I mean, I know you're not gonna down the esports team, but have you seen an impact on it?
So we do own an esports team for the Army. We've had it for a couple of years now, and they are doing great, especially during COVID. They're doing great, and these young people, they do a great job. And they're really good at what we do. The CG and I have visited where they play games right here in Fort Knox, and you would be amazed what you see when you walk in that room. A bunch of lit up screens and keyboards and mouses, and but they are engaging people, and they're there. They tell a story. I mean, that's where our youth are hanging out, and they'll get questions about who they are and what they do, and they'll just tell their story. If they're interested in military service or want information, then they'll kind of send them to a recruiting NCO, a lead, as you will. Somebody will follow up with them and kind of make an appointment to see if they want to conduct an interview. And so, but they are very, very effective in what they do for esports.
To some there's I guess there's an identity with future soldiers with prior mental health issues. Is there what are the it's hard because you can't go into too much specifics with the audience, but what is being done to identify future soldiers with prior mental health issues, meaning that they were either on medication or deep counseling that prevented them from completing an enlistment and ended up being chaptered from AIT? What's being done to kind of are you guys doing more stringent screenings when it comes to behavioral health now?
So on the behavioral health, so obviously during the Army interview, they get asked some initial screening questions, but when they go to MEPS, then they do more screening from the medical professionals there, and then they'll identify if there is a behavioral health issue, either obviously in the past, and what that means for their potential service or not. But I can't get into specific details on that, but there are screenings in place for that on the behavioral health side.
Someone asked, are we getting beards? Are there exemptions to beards for entry?
Well, I mean, we know that there's religious accommodations for beards that's been approved, and we do those ETPs, exception policies, do get sent in to the commanders for approval. But there's obviously guidelines on how long they can be, and they have to be clean cut and so forth. But the general open topic of is everybody getting beards? Not at this time, not that I know of. And but I assure you that if it ever does, I'm sure everybody will know.
No, I know some of the Army's been getting a little ribbing on social media about the beard thing.
Right. You may had, right?
Say again.
You seen the meme that was out there on him, right?
Of course, we assisted in such on such artistry of the meme and the hair. We gave him a.
It looked really good. I thought it was in, some special mission unit or something. Right?
Well, we were just providing a prototype of what would it look like with the beard, with the SMA, and he pulled it off. You know, it was some good Photoshop. There's some concern with some NCOs right now that they don't think that being, I guess there's some board guidance that drill sergeants seem to get more preference on career enhancement as opposed to recruiters. Is there any data to back that up?
So I will tell you that they're both looked at equally. Now I can tell you today that probably was not true, but that's probably before most NCOs that are active right now will probably remember that.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you the scales are kind of even when you talk about those special duty assignments. Specifically, two of the hardest jobs there is drill sergeant and recruiter, and not discounting the rest of them, but they are looked at as preferential on the boards as long as they did them well. I mean, just because you're a drill sergeant recruiter, you still have to do it well.
Right, right.
Bus, you got to do that well too, right?
Right, of course,
So,
yeah.
and our instructors too, across all all the centers of excellence in a lot of the schools, they're looked at favorably as well. And so there's many of those, but drill sergeants, they do hard work, but it's mostly in the physical environment. Recruiters, it's a lot of mental challenges out there with just getting through some of the rejections that some of our leaders face every day. I mean, when you're in operational Army, nobody they're not supposed to tell you no, but drill sergeants don't get told no by a trainee.
Right, right,
It's like,
exactly.
Fire, right? Recruiting NCO, I mean, you could get told no 100 times in a row. And so what's that do to your psyche? You just have to keep getting after it. So it's hard work. And the senior leaders of our Army recognize it's really hard work to find talented people that are articulate, bright, and intelligent to be part of our profession.
You know, that's another thing too, and you bring up a good point. A lot of it also is on the individual's branch too, isn't it? Does that take a part into it as well? I know, because there's, like you were saying, there's a legend that it's almost like, if you get, because I know it's like in the 82nd world, if you're a jump master, you get promoted, you're bam, and you'll make it. Or however, a tanker, someone who's a 19 series would get promoted, and all he has is battle staff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so there are some cultures within the branches, and I get it. It's part of their heritage and it's part of where they come from. But you're right. I think it is branch proponents. They kind of say, hey, you know what? These assignments are, pay attention to these assignments. These are tough. These are challenging. But I think that probably all of our proponents and all of our community management fields out there recognize how hard recruiting duty is, how hard drill sergeant duty is, and not everybody can do that.
Right.
It's very tough.
But I mean, you kind of have to have like the gift of gab too, being a recruiter, anyways, to be able to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, if you can't. I mean, the whole idea of being a recruiter is being a recruiter. You know, it's
right. It's hard to be an introvert and be a recruiter.
Yeah, exactly. What you can't exactly. Everyone's like, well, you know how you can't. You know, I didn't do well with recruiting and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, there's a lot of things, you know, that probably took involved with it too. There was another question: can we address, aside from the serious medical issues upon entering the Army, but we lose a lot of leads due to the Navy having a very lenient tattoo policy? What's the tattoo policy on that?
Did you just say Navy?
Yeah, somebody was talking about. I guess they were going to go into the Army, or they're going to the Navy, and the Navy has a lenient policy, but then the Army said no because of tattoos.
So we have addressed some of the tattoos policy. policies that was, or approval policies that was delegated back down to us. It was previously held um, with the directorate under the G1 of the Army.
Right.
But now we have it at our level. And so actually those get turned around much faster now, obviously, than have to go through all the wickets of getting up to that directorate. But so we do, look at some exceptions of tattoos that may be on the hand or maybe some part of the neck. But obviously we're not going to allow, size of a tattoo the size of a fist on your neck.
Right.
And so we did get some of those authorities back, and they're getting turned around much faster and back to the recruiting force, so that they get an answer whether that person can enlist or not.
Now, there's a waiver in here about the use of cannabis, and there is, I guess, there's a recruiter. I won't throw the name, but there's a recruiter saying that we lose a lot to the Navy because of possession of marijuana, and less than an ounce requires a waiver and disqualifies them from certain jobs with us. But with the Navy, it's not a waiver whatsoever. So I guess the Navy just letting anybody in. I shouldn't say it like that, but
no, I was to say, hey, know what your competitor's doing, and help them, right?
Yes.
But I mean, obviously, it's if somebody has a possession charge, and then that's an issue, and we have to run a waiver on that. But if they were, trafficking it and all these other things, then that's probably something that, when we talk about moral and we talk about people that we want to be in the Army, do we want that person in the Army? I don't know.
Right.
If you kind of used it one time and you say, hey, I used it once, a long time ago, and as long as you don't go down to MEPS and test positive, you're probably okay.
Right.
Now, if you're an habitual user and you say, yeah, I used it 1,000 times, well, that's a different story, right? So it's case by case.
Okay.
And so if it's mild issue, then we can kind of run a waiver on it, and then we'll allow that person in. If not, then I guess another service gets it, right? But,
right, yeah, exactly.
Sacrifice standard, right?
Yeah, right.
So we do have.
It was just one of the things that were some individuals were asking just for them to come in, which like you were saying, you bring a good point. A couple more. I'm going to take a couple more questions. Has there been any exploration of giving a mission to a FORSCOM unit to assist USAREC? So like if they're, they assist the recruiters. That way FORSCOM units would be able to interact with USAREC type of thing, showing I guess you would say an installation partnership or something like that. Has there been any discussions of something like that?
So we've had recruiting NCOs and stations, companies, and battalions do this. I was the former post command sergeant major at Fort Sill before this position for a couple of years, and we partnered with Oklahoma City Recruiting Battalion, and they always use our assets. And sometimes we got those in FORSCOM units, and other times we, TRADOC units at the schoolhouses supplied some of those assets to help recruiters. And so we do have people do that. We also have senior leaders at FORSCOM and other major commands in the Army that help recruiting too, because as I said in the beginning, this is an Army mission. And so we encourage, yes, develop a partnership with that FORSCOM installation. Like Syracuse Battalion up in New York, they partner, I know, because I've talked to them about it, with Fort Drum. And they do community events together, and they kind of share assets and resources, and so it helps tell that story to the public. So we do encourage that.
Awesome. Well, I think I got room for one more question. Let me see. Let me scramble through the chats here and see. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not gonna answer any more beard questions. Kind of. Everyone's dropping the beard stuff.
Do you have a beard?
Yeah, I do, because I was and Spanky will tell you, my daughter wanted to do the No Shave November, but then it turns out that it's a trick. They want me to be Santa this year. So I've since last November I've had a beard and I can grow one pretty quick. So the little ones are like, haha, Dad, it's a trap. You're going to be Santa this Christmas. So, can you talk a little bit about the hometown recruiting program? Is it still in the process? Can you guys still do that? Do you guys still use the hometown recruiting program?
So right now we do not because of COVID, right? Before COVID, we did. We send those individuals when they graduated AIT before first unit of assignment. They would go home on Prince City wide, and they would partner with the recruiting station for I think 10 days, and then they would report to their unit of assignment, and that's in conjunction with their leave as well.
Right.
Since COVID, when individuals graduate AIT, they go straight to first unit of assignment. We use TRADOC uses stereo communication means, whether it's bus, plane, primarily to move people safely between installation and installation. And so when they get to their first unit of assignment out of AIT, then it's up to the gain in command whether or not they want to grant leave for that individual to go back just to take personal leave, depending on the environment, depending on the risk of that location and where they're going as well. So right now, so for almost past year, we've kind of shut that off because of the risk with our people. Okay,
well, hey, Sergeant Major, we totally appreciate you coming on, and this is a historic event. Even though we've had Facebook going up and down with some Facebook outages, we've been streaming just fine on all the other channels. But if the audience has any more questions, you guys can just send them to me, and I will filter them for you. IDs and stuff like that, because I don't know if people want to drop their PERSEC on there. But send me again to contact@WTFNationRadio.com or US Army WTF Moments, and we'll like I will honor that the Sergeant Major's word and get it to him, so that way he knows what's up, and that way he can help answer the questions and stuff like that.
If I can kind of chime in on one thing, is
sure.
It's the one thing you asked about, hey, how can you help, and it's something I kind of need a lot of people's help on, and you can help as well. So I do a podcast. Did you know that I host a podcast?
You know what I was about to say. Thank you for reminding me. What? Yeah. What's up with your deal? You're trying to get the USAREC Nation going on. What's up?
Well, you know I'm the greatest podcast host in USAREC, and so I'm the only one too, right? Yeah. So it's called Behind the Greens. I did a number of recordings, and I think we released episode 8 yesterday. And so I released I don't release them personally. My public affairs does every other Wednesday. And so we just released one yesterday and it's in line with Black History Month. And so with some First Class Booth and a phenomenal story that he has. And we'll do another one. There'll be another one released here in 2 weeks on Women's History Month that goes into March. But the primary purpose of this Behind the Green Serve with Purpose podcast is to kind of just message who we are, the United States Army, with the American population. Because we know that 50% of the population knows little or nothing about the Army. We already know that. And so how do we kind of message those benefits, those opportunities, and what they could achieve while in the Army, and the benefits after service as well, as they go into the private sector or go to college or seek a credential somewhere. And so that's what we're trying to message. So anywhere from educational benefits to healthcare benefits, and to kind of get through all those misperceptions about what a lot of our recruiting force faces every day. And it gets asked, hey, can I have a dog? Can I own a house? Am I locked down in the barracks? And so forth. So if you like, please share that.
Yeah. Are you guys on Facebook, or where you guys have that podcast posted?
It's on Facebook, but you can It's Facebook. Then we put it on Instagram, and so any podcast platform.
Okay,
iTunes,
cool. Yeah,
or whatever.
Oh, we'll find it. We'll grab it. We'll grab it. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know you were. You're using that space badge for good cause.
Well, it's a fancy cartoon character of me wearing an Army Green Service uniform, so it should be pretty easy to find.
Definitely. Command Sergeant Major John Foley, the Senior Enlisted Advisor and Senior Enlisted Leader of U.S. Army Recruiting Command. Thanks again for hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's been really, really fun, and hopefully we can get on again sometime in the near future.
Of course. Hang on, Sergeant Major. We're going to go on a break, and we need to shoot the breeze for a little bit. Guys, we're going to take a break, and you want to hang out and refill your glass and all that, then go ahead and go take your potty break. We'll be right back. Shots.
It's my Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
We are back, man, with the last portion of Sergeant's Time. We appreciate you guys keeping up with us and hanging in there during all the Facebook outages. I need to stop looking at Twitter and YouTube because I'm sitting there watching it through there, and everyone's like going, "Some Facebook is messed up," blah 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 blah. So, once again, massive apologies for you guys out there listening to us on Facebook. So, but don't worry, we will still have the podcast loaded up on Google Play and Apple Podcasts, and it'll still be on here, so you guys don't have to sweat it. Or if you listen on Twitter, there's been no issues. I mean, I haven't seen any issues. No one else has said anything, but we were talking to Sergeant Major about more questions. You guys can see, if you guys are active duty, you got him on global. He's got, just reference the Sergeant's Time show and say, hey, you said on Sergeant's Time that if you had any questions, just let us know, and you can shoot it off. Do so, or if you want us to deliver the message or deliver the question and the message and who you are, that's fine. We can do the same. Again, contact at WTFNationRadio.com or the inbox on Facebook for WTF Nation Radio. You don't have, again, if you don't want to, you want to provide the information, or you can just hit them up. They want to hear your input, because some of the questions that you had were a little bit specific to some of the issues that they can answer immediately. You got to remember, that's like a division level assignment position. So again, we totally appreciate the commander at USAREC for letting Sergeant Major Foley hanging out. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
That was,
I'm like, we had so many questions.
Yeah.
Again, I'm so sorry we couldn't get to them all.
Right.
All the ones that you guys were posting in the chat feeds, we saw them. It's just we only have an hour with him, and that's a long time. But it doesn't seem like it when you have like 50 questions. So
right.
Again, sorry, but y'all that are active duty, hit them up. And if you don't want to use your name, hit me up. I'll send it to them.
Right. We can do that. No problem. Too easy. Just see some of the questions and some of the DMs I'm getting. I'm like, wow, you guys, I'm not going to ask them that.
No, and most of the ones that were in the chat feeds were relevant, and everything else. It's just we could not get to them all in the short time we had with them.
Right.
So,
hey, what's the big do we have something going on for Cause tomorrow? Is he having a guest tomorrow? I haven't even.
Cause is having a guest tomorrow. I've been out the loop, and I don't even know what's going on in the world.
You have no idea what's going on.
No, I have a little bit of idea what's going on. Let's see here.
Let's look. I think he's got.
No, Mom did my job for me.
Yes, but he's got Scott Fox and Don Ward. They're going to be on from the Bearded Rebellion. If we don't talk about exactly what they do, the Bearded Rebellion was founded in 2018. They're a beard club that provides themselves on family, charity, loyalty, and brotherhood. A beard club. That's what I'm talking about. We were just talking about that. About beards.
Yes, all of y'all with your beards and everything.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Learn some beard things.
Yeah.
I do not have one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm more qualified to speak about the beardage. You notice how John asked, Sergeant Major Foley just like, you got a beard? I like to keep my beard anonymous, but yeah, I do have some growth on my face. Yeah. And then, what's going on Saturday? Oh my gosh.
What is going on Saturday?
Me and Spanky got invited to, on Saturday to be on Veterans Trash Talk. So we had Veterans Trash Talk on here shooting the shit with us, and we were going back and forth and ranting back and forth. Well, now they want us to go on their show and rant with them on Saturday. Hell, maybe I can see if we can jump in and restream it through them. I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with their. I mean, you know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna be done with buttons. I'm just gonna hang out. And
they're not working tomorrow. We are.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not doing no work. We're being guests. We will post links and all that once we are on, so that way you guys and gals can see just where we're at. And we're not doing cameras, right? No cams, huh? We're just.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I am not ready for that. I've been locked up for a week. I can't even wash my hair. No cameras.
No camera. Okay. But the thing is that I don't want to. Wait, whoa! Tyson says we're all possers. What's a posser?
Everybody's like correcting him.
Oh, it's a correct. Oh, we're posers.
Posers.
Oh, we're posers. Oh, Tyson appears to think that we're fake leaders. Okay.
Tyson's not hurting my feelings.
Hang on. I'm sitting here just wiping my face with all my WTF negative money, negative cash. Oh, come on, man! Why do you?
Okay. Tyson got what he wanted.
Yeah. So you wanted.
He got some attention.
He got some attention, right? Exactly, Tyson. We appreciate you just calling us possers. Is that a possers? Posers that spell posser like wait. Okay, Justin even said posers that spell poser like posser are really posers of excellence. Welcome to the Posser Station of Excellence.
That's our new name.
Hey, we love you, Tyson. Don't go away. You can hang out here, but we're posser. It's like, is that a member of the honey badger family? The posser is that an animal in Australia? Here we have the posser. The possers he's related to the kangaroo. Possers have been known to chase paratroopers.
Knock them as they're coming up.
This is their drop zone. Don't mess with the posser. How to speak?
Don't drop in my zone, possers.
How to speak Australian? Posser. It's an animal chasing a paratrooper.
That's the new name.
That's the new name. We got to figure out.
It.
We got to figure out some sort of.
Animal that chases paratroopers. The posser.
It's like a mini kangaroo, but it's not. I'm just picturing you now like a what was it look? Would it look like a wallaby or
like a honey badger?
Like a honey badger.
Kangaroo,
You want to
throw a little cobra venom in there? That's a posser.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that's right. Wait till the posser messes around with Joy. Hey, why are you talking about me about a what's a posser?
This is too much.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Well, thank you so much for providing that posser, because everybody knows that posers that spell poser like posser are really posers. I love that, Justin. That's a posser. Oh my God. Oh, love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hey, have you even seen something? Have you noticed CQ? His Pop Culture Warrior stuff, his page, he's got like The Walking Dead, The World Beyond pics on there. Have you seen that? Have you been following that stuff?
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah. Are we getting back into the dead again? Because that's some.
I'm about to get all back into it.
Yeah, I know. Because
I gave up on it for a minute.
Yeah.
You know how I used to be into it.
Right.
Into it.
Yeah. Well, no, me and you used to.
I just got big mad.
Yeah, we just got big mad. Well, me and you got big mad when they killed Abraham and Glenn, and then me and you got all pissed off and didn't watch it for a while, and then because we used to go back and forth with our dead commentary a lot. Scott, my dearest Jessica. You guys want me to? You guys want to hear? Well, Tyson's gonna get pissed. Do you want?
Love you, Tyson.
We love you, Tyson, man. We're just. I don't know if we should be clowning on somebody with on the podcast that has a Sergeant Major on there. Dude, should we?
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
We'll calm down just a little bit.
All right. Well,
just a little. But again, on CQ show, on Tuesday, well, we got to get to cause first. There's just, I got to get in line. I need a calendar.
Yeah, exactly. So tomorrow we're gonna.
I'm out of it.
So tomorrow, Cause has got his guest. On Friday Night Freedom with him and Pookie, and then Saturday again, Veterans Trash Talk. Myself and Spanky will be on to shoot the breeze with the team there, and then of course the Monday edition is myself and Flash, and then Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and the Unpop Cultured Radar, and then Wednesday's a day off, and of course bringing you back to this day on Sergeant's Time this Thursday. hey, look, I really, if you guys need anything, and you guys are affected by the storm, reach out. Don't let a pride thing get you, because that's all I've been doing with friends and family that are there, that have had issues and all that. Hey, just get with somebody, link up with someone to hook up. I know you've helped some people out too. Spanky.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're in the Hood area, message me. I'll see what I can do.
Awesome. So with that, you guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. And again, thank you for, U.S. Army Recruiting Command, Command Sergeant Major John Foley, for hanging out with us. So with that, I'll see you all later, and shots.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport, now sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun. Yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.